Reg, let me start with the video of you shooting jumpers. I don't know how it went viral. Did you know that somebody was videotaping you taking jumpers?
I did not know, and that person was our beautiful sideline reporter, Rachel Nichols. So, no, I just went out. It was in between practice sessions, and I believe that was Utah that was getting ready to come on, and I was just like, well, let me go pick up a basketball and just get some shots up really quick. It was only like a minute or two before Utah actually walked on the floor, but no, I did not know that she was filming.
Are you mad?
Afterwards.
Are you mad at her?
It opened up a little bit of Pandora's box, not in a bad way, but then everyone, from Indiana and all over started saying, well, hey, if he can make shots, 10-day contracts. I'm like, no, people. People need to remember I was out there by myself shooting. And, Daniel,
I know.
We can do this until we're 75. Now, you put someone in front of me and tell me to have them change directions, pace, and all that. That's a little different. But shooting, I can do that until I'm 80.
And you know what I loved? You didn't hit rim.
Shoot or shoot.
I know.
I was taught not to touch the rim.
I know. That's a miss.
Only twine, baby. Only twine.
I know. I loved it. Thought it was great. And it's the greatest sound, too. I always thought that you don't golf, but a putt, when it goes into the bottom of the cup, but when you hit a jumper and you can actually hear it during a game, that's good.
The one thing for any basketball player, and for me, this is how I grew up, being in an empty gym, which it was, and you're by yourself, and it's just you and the basketball, and you can get away, and you're just thinking. And for that minute or two, it took me back to Riverside Poly and UCLA, just being in empty gyms and shooting. And then, the big guys from Utah had to walk in and spoil the moment. But it took me back, Daniel. It took me back.
How far did you have UCLA going?
I had SMU going further, to answer your question.
Okay.
But congratulations to Steve Alford and the Bruins. Look, it was going to go one of two ways for them. They were going to prove people right by saying, what the heck were the Bruins doing in there? Or they were going to surprise everyone. And when you have a chip on your shoulder, you play like it. And I think the Bruins had a chip on their shoulder, and that's why they're in the Sweet 16.
We don't have a Cinderella story, do we?
No, we don't. I think all these teams potentially could move on. We have good stories, but no Cinderellas. Cinderellas would have been like Georgia State. But no, all these teams are big programs. I think we're hoping and wishing Gonzaga, because for so many years we've wanted them to be the Cinderella story, but now they have a squad. So they should be there. But I think if there's any team left that you're like maybe pulling for, and that's really a small major, would be Gonzaga that you're pulling for. But they have a squad.
Best team you've seen so far?
I will say this: you bet. If I'm Duke, you're going to have to be real careful and do your due diligence and film work against Utah. Larry Kristoviak, this is a hidden gem out here out west. They are fantastic defensively. I know I'm a little biased because we called both of their games, and, we saw them up close in the practices. But defensively, they're as good as Kentucky. And with DeLon Wright, a 6'5" point guard that can see over, they're big. They have two big guys down in Jakob Poeltl and Dalen Baczynski that can go against Okafor. You're going to have to do your due diligence in the film room, because they're one of those teams that can really surprise you because they really get after you defensively.
Reggie Miller, NBA on TNT, also during the tournament, calling games on TBS, joining us, Dan Patrick's show. We were talking about this earlier. Russell Westbrook, can you be selfish and get a triple-double?
I don't know that there is such a thing of being selfish. I think as long as your team is winning, triple-doubles, think about that. And think about the seasons he's having, especially without Durant. Selfish in a triple-double because you've got to give guys opportunities to score, so that's not being selfish. And you're helping your team win by crashing the offensive and defensive boards. That's not being selfish. The only selfish part about it is scoring, because you have to go do it. So, no, I don't think so.
If I said right now you can have Westbrook's future or Durant's future?
Well, there's a question mark for Durant.
Absolutely.
Because he has a screw in his foot.
Absolutely.
Until he comes back and proves that he's 100%, obviously you're going to go with Westbrook. But, look, things are never the same once they go in your body. Never. I was never the same once I had it. They took out the bone spurs, even though they just said they were loose particles floating. You're never the same when they open you up. It's how you come back is where people really will judge and define you.
We also talked about this. You can have Steve Nash's career or Robert Horry.
Whoa.
So I got 7 rings for Oreo.
Okay.
2 MVPs for Steve. Steve's made twice as much money as Robert did. Steve will be a Hall of Famer.
Can we talk this out, you and I?
Yep.
Let's talk this out aloud.
All right, here
now, let's remember, Robert Horry, he was not a slouch on these teams.
No,
he made big shots and contributed to these championships. It wasn't like he was just riding the bench.
Yep.
Or, when you mention point guards in the history of the game going forward, Steve Nash will be mentioned, correct?
Yeah.
That's fair to say, right?
Yep. Do you want to be one of the greatest at your position but no rings, or a guy who's one of the greatest at winning rings and hitting big shots?
When I think of those championships, no disrespect to Robert Horry, I'm going to think of Hakeem Olajuwon, I'm going to think of Tim Duncan, and I'm going to think of Kobe and Shaq. I will think of the moments Horry had. That's great.
Yeah.
When I think of Steve Nash, I'm going to think of 2 MVPs and one of the greatest point guards and point guard shooters ever. Oh, God. So to answer your question, finally, I may go with Steve Nash. I like Steve Nash. I'll go with Steve Nash. I mean, to be one of the best ever, I may go with that. But, see, I hate Trump winning. I hate Trump winning. Winning, that's why we play the game. Come on, this is the hardest question you may have ever asked. Because Robert Horry contributed to these teams. You know what I'm saying? He made some big shots.
Did he make more big shots than you?
In bigger moments, yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Did you make more big shots than Robert Horry did?
Yes. Because I was on the floor more than Robert Horry, though. You got to say I was on the floor more than Robert Horry.
That's true. But I'm looking at Nash's numbers, and we were talking about D'Antoni's system and how everybody had elevated numbers there. But Nash was still a 50 from the floor, 40 from 3, and 90 from the line. Reg, there aren't many of those players in NBA history for his career.
By the way, he did it 4 times. He did it 4 times in his career.
He shot 47 from three-point range one year.
That's amazing. Look, you could go down to say that he's arguably the greatest point guard shooter ever. I guess you would probably put Mark Price in that category too.
Okay, but if I say we started point guards and I start with Magic.
Correct.
Okay, do I go to Stockton?
I would go to Stockton.
Then I go 3. Now
I would probably go to Isaiah, 3rd. And then I start talking about then I would go with Gary Payton, 4.
Gary Payton over Nash.
I would go with Gary Payton. Both ends of the floor now. Both ends of the floor.
Well, I don't care about that. Magic never played any defense.
He played enough. I would go with Jason Kidd. Then I would go with Steve Nash.
I like how you are picking out guys who play defense, Reg.
I'm trying to win championships here.
No.
I didn't play any defense, so I need someone to pick up, the other guy.
You played some defense.
Okay, a little.
You did. You tried.
I did. I played great. No, hold on. I was a great team defender. Great team defender.
So was Bird.
Again, I will say this. I held the greatest under his scoring average.
Yep.
That's all that matters.
You own Jordan.
I didn't know. I won't say that. I won't say this. I held him under his scoring average.
He can't get you now. Don't worry. By the way, this Ron Turner's son, RJ, reminded me of a young Aloysius out there.
This kid can flat out get it done from deep, right?
And he was kind of the way he was built.
Well, you know why? Because he has Hoosier blood in him, okay? You remember, Ron Hunter coached IUPUI for so many years and then moved on to Georgia State. So he grew up in the state of Indiana. This young man knows what's up.
He can shoot. He's got some range there.
He's got a little savvy to him too, you know. See how he makes it and puts his hand behind his back, running back down the floor. I like this kid. I like RJ.
Kevin Love was with us last hour. He said he plans to be a Cavalier no matter what happens this year.
Well, he's got to say that because you, the media, we, the media, we keep forcing it down his throat. What is he supposed to say?
Well, I said, are you more likely to stay or less likely to stay if you win a championship? And he said, if he wins, more likely to stay. You want to be a part of a winner. Reg, I see him in Boston.
Again, winning trumps everything. If they win a championship, it's going to be so difficult for him to leave LeBron.
If you're Kevin Love, would you stay? Or would you want – I think it's been a really difficult year for him.
It has, but again, what are they going to offer him? Now, does he have to take less money to stay to win, or is Boston going to give him the max?
Maybe you could do a sign and trade.
Then he's gone.
Boston's got a lot.
They got a lot to offer, yes. A lot of draft picks. If that's the case, then he's gone. But at some point in time, and I always tell people that come up, you've got to reward winning. Being in a winning atmosphere. By the way, Kevin, you've never been to the playoffs. This is going to be the first year he's been to the playoffs.
But part of him wants to average 26 and 13 and take his chances on not making the playoffs as opposed to being the third wheel where he's not even sure what his night's going to be like. Like last night, would he have 8 points against the Bucks?
Why struggle?
I know.
Why struggle?
I know.
To get 25 and 12. Why do that?
But you've always been the man. And now he's got to go, what role am I playing tonight? Who are we playing? Because it's Kyrie Irving's team, and then LeBron, and then you got Kevin Love. I think he hasn't figured it out like Chris Bosh did.
Well, if you want to win, you get all superstars and all teams. If you want to win a championship, some players have to sacrifice.
And that's
in
Robert.
In this case, it's going to be Kevin Love, and Robert Horry had to sacrifice, and he has 7 chips. Okay, he had to sacrifice. Put Robert Horry on the Indiana Pacers, and maybe I would have a couple rings.
Would you trade your career for Robert Horry?
Absolutely not. No. I'll take my career.
Would you trade it for Steve Nash's?
No. There's only a couple people I'm trading my
Okay, aside
for.
from Michael and Magic and Larry.
I would go with Kobe. Kobe's a big shot maker and has got 5.
LeBron?
No.
Wow.
Larry?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Magic? Yes.
Shaq?
I want guys that I can identify with.
Okay, Dwayne Wade.
Yes. 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 Because Dwayne Wade, his first championship, that was all D. Wade.
And
I know you had Alonzo and I know you had Shaq, but being down 2-0 and then running the table, that was all D. Wade.
Okay, but give me somebody's career you would take who did not win a championship.
George the Iceman Gervin. Finger roll, baby.
Yeah, I loved him.
Okay.
I loved him. Hey, have fun, and we'll look for more viral videos that you had no idea that Rachel Nichols was filming.
I'm not taking the floor anymore. I'm not answering these questions, people, okay?
Thank you, Reg.
Theodore, Danette, truly my people and the best.
That's Reggie Miller. He'll be at Staples. He's got games on TBS. Wisconsin against Carolina and Arizona taking on Xavier.